Hi everyone, my name is Lorraine and I'm a mother of 3 children. Well, they're not really children anymore because they're in the late teens already. But today I want to share a little bit about the importance of teaching our children, especially when they're young, how to get along, the value of relationships, and how to reconcile after they argue or fight. As you all know, there isn't a home around where the children do not fight. Siblings, brothers, sisters. I remember having to tell my kids all the time when they were young, stop fighting, say sorry to Gogo, say sorry to Dede, etc., etc. But the more I did that, the more they would fight. So one day I just told them, okay, if you really have to fight, then just fight it out. But just make sure that at the end of it, you would be friends again, you would say sorry to each other, and you talk to each other again. And I found that was much more effective because it's impossible for them not to fight. But we can tell them that when or if they do, they must remember to always reconcile. So I just want to keep this video short and sweet and just share with you 3 little points which may help you in your home. The first one is to set a good example. My husband and I, probably have set a lot of wrong examples to our children. But there was one thing good that we did, which was whenever we argued or fight in front of them, we would apologize and say sorry to each other and talk to each other again in front of them so that they will see that. And it's important because setting good example is the best teacher for the children, because if one day we tell them stop fighting, say sorry to each other, they will come back and tell us, why should we don't see you and daddy saying sorry to each other. So setting an example is one of the best teachers and methods. And number 2 was something that I did when they were young. I got this old Chinese New Year cookie can, and I put the word there, get along, as a get along box. So anytime I see them getting along, playing well together, doing something nice or kind, or even saying sorry to each other without me or anyone having to prompt them, I will put in maybe like $1 or 1 ringgit or 2 ringgit, and I'll show them me putting it in, and they get so excited. And when it reaches like 20 ringgit, I'll bring them to the supermarket where they would, have a free flow of what snacks, chocolates, sweets that they can buy up to 20 ringgit and that they can share together. And this is one of the things that they still remember even up to this day. And the third one would be, I'm sure you know, reading books. I'm sure many of you read to your young children. And there's so many books out there which teach values about friendship, about siblings, about a new baby brother or new baby sister coming in. And I just want to share a few because for me, books are very effective. I've been collecting children's books for like many, many years. And even when I read to my children when they were young, those books, especially those with values, spoke to me and taught me many things. Okay, so one of them would be maybe like something like this, Friends by Joy Cowley. This is from her Social Wellbeing series about the importance of friendship. And another one is perhaps something like this, The Crayon Box That Talked, about these crayons that didn't like each other. Blue didn't like red, yellow didn't like green, but at the end they had to come together to color in a picture, and it became so beautiful, and they learned to accept each other, and they got along in the end. Another one is this one, which was one of my favorites, which I read to my children when they were young, Baby for Sale, about this little bunny brother who was trying to sell his sister Emily because he just wanted to get rid of her. But in the end, nobody wanted to buy her, of course, and she almost got knocked down by a car, and he came to save her, and he became her hero. And in the end, he became so protective and loving over his little sister. The last one I want to share is this one. It's Two Sisters, One Sarong. It's written by myself. It's about two sisters fighting over a sarong, and that affected their relationship. But in the end, they came back together and they became friends again. So there are many books out there which you can find, I'm sure, that can help you foster this value in your children. And coming up next is a short video by Priscilla and Ken. They are a lovely young couple who have a cute little smart little boy, Sammy, and they read this book to him, and he actually could say the word reconciliation when he was 2+. So nothing is impossible, your little ones are much smarter than you think.
Hello, I'm Priscilla.
And I'm Ken.
And we have an almost 3-year-old son called Sammy. And one of the things that Sammy loves and looks forward to every night is story time. So we've been reading to him since he was really young. And I think one of the measure of a good book is how many times he says again. Again. So then we have to read it over and over again.
A lot of times.
So this is one of the books with a lot of agains, Two Sisters and One Sarong by Lorraine. It was given to us by Lorraine. And it was a really nice book to read. Even though he doesn't have any sisters, we call it the Che book, the bigger sister book. And we're not really the kind of parents who like to drill in moral values for every story. We kind of just want him to enjoy the story. But for this story, I think it just came out so easily, and it's something that we could talk about and link it to daily life when he plays with his cousins and things like that. So
I think one of the words in the book right at the beginning is the word reconciliation. When I first came across it, I thought that's a big word for a 2-year-old kid. But I thought, why don't I just try to see if he can pronounce it and also understand it. And to my surprise, he actually did. And I kind of explained, reconciliation is when you fight with your cousin, and after that you say sorry and you make up and you become good friends again. And he was able to actually understand that concept. And I think an encouragement to all parents is to not kind of think that your kid is too young to learn things, and really just try and expose them, and really to continue reading with your kid, because it's probably one of the most valuable things you can do with them at a really young age. So yeah. Sammy, can you say reconciliation?
Reconciliation. What's reconciliation?
Reconciliation is when two people fight, and then after they fight, they say I'm sorry and they make up, okay? And then they become good friends again, like you and Liuki.
Good friends?
Yeah, good friends.
What's a good friend?
That is a great question, baby. Next time you will find out.